If you're building anything or trying to maintain a property, you're in a constant fight with one of nature's biggest troublemakers, water. Getting your defense right is absolutely everything, and today we are going to break down exactly how to pick the perfect Betek waterproofing solution for your project. Look, every single building out there, I don't care if it's a huge commercial complex or your family home, it's always facing the threat of water trying to get in. It's really not a question of if it's going to happen, it's when and, more importantly, how well are you prepared for it. So, I want you to think about your project for a second. Is it truly protected? I mean, really? Are there little weak spots hiding in the roof, on a balcony, or maybe deep down in the foundation that could turn into a massive headache later on? It's a question you've got to answer. Because here's the honest truth, that little damp patch or that tiny leak, it's not just an ugly stain on the wall. Over time, that water eats away at concrete, it rusts the rebar inside, and it can become a serious structural risk to the entire building.
And that's exactly where Betek comes in. See, this isn't about just one single product. Betek offers a whole system of solutions, and each one is engineered to solve a very specific waterproofing problem.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The official Nigerian distributor, Sesiands, puts it perfectly. They use these systems because they are proven to work. Right here, built specifically for the tough weather we see in Lagos and across the country. That's a huge vote of confidence.
At the heart of this system, you've got three main players: Aquaset, Fibrious Aquaset, and Bitumfleks. Each one is a specialist, and once you understand what they do, picking the right one is easy.
All right, so let's dive into the details. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly which one of these is the perfect match for whatever you're working on. First up, we have Aquaset. Think of this as your #1 protector for any surface that's exposed to the elements. It's a liquid that you basically roll on like a thick coat of paint, and it dries into this one single, seamless waterproof skin. It's perfect for roofs, terraces, balconies, you name it. Now check out this number, 600%. What on earth does that mean? That's how much Aquaset can stretch before it breaks. So as your building naturally shifts, expands in the heat, and settles over time, Aquaset just stretches right along with it. No cracks, no leaks, just a perfect seal. It's incredible.
Okay, next is Fibrious Aquaset. And the name kind of gives it away, right? It's our classic Aquaset, but this one is supercharged with tiny polypropylene microfibers mixed right in. It's like adding thousands of tiny little reinforcements, giving it this extra layer of toughness.
So, you bring out Fibrious Aquaset when you need that extra muscle. It's made for those high-risk spots, like if you're going over an existing crack or sealing the joints where a wall meets the floor. It locks those weak points down so they can't cause problems in the future. And finally, let's talk about Bitumfleks. Now this one's different. It's a bitumen-based coating. Think of it as a modern, high-tech version of that classic black tar protection. Its whole job is to protect everything that's underground. Your foundations, your basement walls, anything that's in constant contact with moisture from the soil. So here it is, all laid out. It's actually pretty simple. For flexible protection on roofs, you go with Aquaset. For reinforcing weak spots and cracks, you grab Fibrious Aquaset. And for all that tough, below-ground work, Bitumfleks is your guy. Okay, so knowing what product to use is half the battle won, but the other half is just as important, applying it correctly. And the good news is, the process is really straightforward. It all comes down to these 4 simple steps: prepare, prime, apply, and protect. I promise you, if you get these 4 things right, you are setting yourself up for a perfect, long-lasting waterproof barrier. Now listen, preparation is everything. You cannot skip this. The surface has to be totally clean. No dust, no oil, no flaky bits of old paint. The product needs something solid to grab onto. If you get lazy on this step, the whole job could fail. And here's a little pro tip for you. This is a game changer. When you go to put on your second coat, apply it at a 90-degree angle to the first one. So if you went north to south the first time, you go east to west the second time. This crisscross pattern guarantees you cover every single tiny little spot, giving you a completely bulletproof membrane. It's a simple trick that makes a huge difference. So, now you know the products, you know the process, which means we're at the final step. It's time for you to make the call based on what your project really needs. So let's boil it all down one last time. If you're dealing with a roof or a terrace that needs to be super flexible, Aquaset is your answer. If you're dealing with cracks and need extra strength, you want Fibrious Aquaset. And for anything below ground, like a foundation or retaining wall, Bitumfleks is the only choice. You now have all the info you need to make the smart choice and give your project a kind of protection that lasts for years and years. So the only question left is, are you ready to get it done?
To get your hands on these products and get some expert advice for your exact situation, your next step is easy. Just call or send a WhatsApp to J. Sesiands Global Resources Limited on 0808-925-7737. They'll help you get started on protecting your property for good.